Okay, good morning everybody. It's Mike, and thanks for joining me again this morning. You know, we're talking this week about money, right? And money management tips and priorities for real estate agents. What I've learned in my experience, I'm going to pass some tips along to you that I've found to be important. I hope they work for you, and I hope you sell so many houses this year that money management is an issue for you. But just to recap, yesterday I gave you my top 7 tips in priority of importance. So let's just recap them real quickly. Number 1, the most important thing, 6 months liquid cash reserves, cash on hand, 6 months of living expenses. Nothing else matters until you have that. Nothing else matters until you have 6 months liquid cash reserves. Number 2, health insurance. You need, and I know some of you are on the Jesus plan, and I just can't argue with you enough about this, because when something happens to somebody in your family that you love and care about, you will do anything to take care of them. And lack of adequate health insurance coverage is the #1 cause of bankruptcy and foreclosure in this country. Lack of adequate health insurance bankrupts people when the unexpected happens. Number 3, disability insurance. Yeah, you need the first 2, but then disability insurance. Why? You're more likely to get hurt than you are to get killed. You're more likely to get hurt and disabled than you are to die. Number 4, retirement long-term savings plan. Important, but the first 3 have to be in order first before you need to start saving for retirement. Did I say it wasn't important? No, it is important, but the first 3 are higher priorities. Remember, when it comes to retirement savings, that tiny hinges swing big doors. It's the little bit of money that you put in consistently over a long time. That's where the power is. Number 5, life insurance. Yeah, it's way down the list at number 5. Some of you make it right up at the top. It shouldn't be, because it's the least important. It's not for you. It's for the people that you care about that you might leave behind. And all you're doing is replacing your earning income. There's going to be, if something terrible should happen and you leave the planet, the people that you leave behind that you're responsible for are going to need to replace your income. And that's why life insurance is important. You might say, I don't have anybody that I'm responsible for that I'm leaving behind. Then I don't know why you need life insurance. Number 6, investing. Investing's important, but investing's not more important than the first 5. You've got to get the first 5 boxes checked off first before investing. Now, you have access and information into real estate. So before I start walking over to Wall Street to get into the stock market, which I have limited access and even more limited information, why not take advantage of where I am an expert? With rents at an all-time high and mortgage rates at an all-time low, there's never been a better time to manage investment property, to own a property that I rent out. And I know for some of you that just sounds like a torturous ordeal. Not if you follow my 10-10-10 rule. And if you don't know the 10-10 rule, I'm not going to take time this morning to talk about it, but come see me and we can talk about it. It'll make investing in real estate a whole lot easier for you. And number 7, we talked about debt reduction. And debt reduction is important. Your mortgage debt should be the last debt that you retire. And all the other 6 priorities have to be checked off first, but then you attack your debt reduction. But you know what? I left one out yesterday, and I did it on purpose so I would have something to speak to you today about. What I left out yesterday probably should come number 1. If I had to put it into my top 7, I wouldn't. I would have to make a top 8, and this one would actually come before 6 months liquid cash reserves, and that's taxes. Oh, God, you knew I was going to get to taxes, didn't you? Oh, the nasty, dirty word, and it always tastes so bad. You know, there is a reason why people with real jobs have their taxes withheld from their paycheck, so they never see it and touch it. Because if everybody in the country had to pay taxes the way real estate agents do, the way self-employed people do, we would have revolt in this country. If everybody had to write a check each quarter for the taxes that they owe, estimated, we would have revolt in this country, because I know I wrote those checks too. And I know when you're sitting down to pay your quarterly taxes, those of you that are doing it, writing that check to the IRS is really a hard day. That's a lot of money. And then we start thinking about all the other things we could do with that money. But taxes are part of life. They are the price we pay for the privilege to live in this country and to use all the services and resources that are available to us. So I've had to learn to enjoy paying my taxes. I'm still learning that, but I do enjoy the benefits that come with that. You know, what I want to say about this is a couple of things. Number one, there are two groups on the planet that I don't mess with. I don't mess with the Georgia Real Estate Commission. I don't even get close to messing with them. Why? They have the ability to take away my ability to make a living. They can shut me down, boom. And the IRS. And I don't mess with the IRS because they are the most powerful organization in my life, and Greg is right behind them. Why? Because there is no due process when it comes to dealing with the IRS. You are guilty, and then you have to prove you're innocent. You will go to their court, not a regular court. You will go to tax court, and there will be a prosecutor there, and you are assumed guilty, and you have to prove that you're not. Nothing can make your life more miserable than an IRS issue. Nothing's more stressful than I can think of. Nothing is harder to defend or prove. How do you prove that you are right? It gets very difficult, and it gets very expensive. And here's the other thing. The IRS can just take what they want, and then you have to go through a process of trying to get it back. They can just go to your bank account today and take from it, without notice to you, whatever they feel like you owe. They can lien and seize your property. They have enormous power. And that's where the stress comes from. It's not a fair fight. So here's what I would do. These are my tips from my 3 decades in Atlanta real estate that I've learned. And I so much hope that this will help some of you. Here's what I would do. I would treat my taxes like people with real jobs do. I would never touch it. I would go to your brokerage. If you work here with me, come see me. We'll set it up for you, and we'll withdraw whatever you feel like should be reserved from each commission check. And we'll hold it for you. And we'll give it to you once a quarter so that you can pay your estimateds. Don't ever touch it. It's too enticing. It's too easy to spend it on things we want or we need. And then we'll deal with the taxes later. And it adds up to be too much money. You won't. Don't ever see it. Come talk to me. I'll withhold it from your commission checks. It'll never be an issue. Well, I need that money. You don't need IRS issues more. Estimate the amount of your quarterly obligation. Here's the thing, and here's the goofy argument that I'll get on this. Well, you know, I don't want you holding my money interest free. Okay, so that's dumb. Don't say stuff like that to me, okay? More interest savings rates right now are practically zero, but I'll give you 1%. Yeah, you know what? Let's double it. Let's say that you claim that you can find somebody that will hold your money for 2% annual interest rate. What is that every 3 or 4 months? It's nothing. We're talking about pennies. We're talking about you can't even buy lunch with it. So don't make that dumb argument. Bring a stronger one. The only real argument is I really need that money to live on right now. And I get it, but IRS issues are a much bigger problem than that. Come talk to me. We'll set up a method of just withholding whatever percentage you think needs to be done. And we'll give the money back to you once a quarter for you to pay the taxes with. Don't see it, don't touch it. Don't worry about the interest. If you currently have an IRS issue and you're overwhelmed with this, because it can be overwhelming, you're fighting the federal government, it's going to be a difficult fight. They just have so many more resources and they can just take what they want. And then you'll have to fight to get it back. If you're dealing with this now and you're feeling really stressed and really overwhelmed with it, here's what I want to offer to you. I want you to come talk to me. Just send a message, and all you have to say is, Mike, I want to talk to you about IRS. And we'll sit privately and confidentially. I'll never repeat a word of it. Nobody will know what we're meeting about. You can work here at our company. You can be a guest to this call this morning. I don't care. I want to help you. Come talk to me about it, and I'll give you a roadmap on how to deal with the IRS and take this huge boulder off your shoulders, because it's not a fair fight, folks. And if you don't have IRS issues yet, good. Let's make sure you don't, and let's come up with an effective plan so that every quarter you can make your estimated tax payments, and the money's already there, and this isn't a stress, and it's not a worry, and you're not paying fines and penalties. Deal? Let's just move taxes right up to the top of the list. And then the next thing, let's go out there and make it happen for ourselves today so we have a lot of taxes to pay this year.